Would you like to knit something that's real easy to knit and it's very practical and useful in several different ways? Here's a project for you. My poncho. When I turned 65, my girlfriend gave me this poncho that I don't know where she bought it from, but she gave it to me. And I decided I liked it so much that I wanted to make one for myself. So I just figured out the construction and realized it was a big long rectangle and you just sew it in one section and then which leaves a hole for your head. And that's really easy to put on. So here's the rectangle shape. And there you go. So I'll show you the first one that I created and had some success with it. And again, it's just a big long rectangle. This one's a garter stitch and just knitting back and forth every row. Sew it up on the side, leave a space for your hole, for your head that is, and you can put it on. Put it on. Go ahead, Susan. Put it on. There you go. And it adds a bit of warmth, a bit of style. It's very versatile. And I'm going to tell you later on in the video why I like to wear ponchos, why they're so useful for me, and why I'm trying to recreate this original poncho that was given to me. I know there's a lot of different kinds of ponchos out there knit in worsted weight wool, which is heavier and so forth, but I wanted something very lightweight so that I can even wear it during the summertime if I wanted to, because I have a basic goal in mind when I'm creating a poncho. Now, this is the poncho that I wear the most. And following the design of the one that my girlfriend gave me, it's the only time I was able to recreate it. I have tried it several different times. I used baby wool because I was thinking we need a lightweight, thin wool. And so I tried baby wool, and it was too bulky and it just didn't work. It didn't hang right. It didn't drape nice. Then I tried a different type of yarn, which was a cotton blend, and it was too heavy. So I took it all apart. I'm actually knitting a cardigan with that wool now. And then I analyzed, like, why did this one work? So this was a lightweight wool. I don't even remember what it's called, but I purchased it in Cheektowaga, Hobby Lobby. So my last trip down to Hobby Lobby, I thought, okay, I'll look for a lightweight wool, and I found one. And I started knitting up the poncho. And then I realized that it was just not going to work. It might have worked, but also I realized I only had 2 balls, and this is 1 ball knit up, and I realized this is not going to be enough yarn. So what I did then is I decided to make this into a scarf. Instead of pulling it out, instead of frogging it, which I was going to do, I just thought, no, it's all knit up. I'll just crochet around the edge with a contrasting yarn and made a scarf. And I thought, well, if you're going to have a scarf, you need a hat. So with the other ball of wool, I knit up a hat. So matching scarf and hat. Some homeless person is going to get a nice matching hat and scarf next winter, because I'm working on next winter's things to give away. So then I was searching out. There must be a poncho pattern out there somewhere that I can follow, that I can just like figure out how many stitches to cast on, figure out the right kind of yarn. So I actually used the artificial intelligence thing, and I said, okay, I have a number 6 and a number 7 circular needles, and I have some DK weight yarn, which I found in my stash from my girlfriend. And, you know, how many stitches would I need to knit on, to cast on, and so forth. This was the yarn from my girlfriend's stash. I just dropped my needle. And this is a nice lightweight yarn, very, very thin. It's like, how do I show you this? Right, there you go. Very thin. So it's a DK weight, which means double knit. I don't know why they call it that. It's probably because it's about 2 strands, very lightweight. And I got my needle size. I decided to knit flat. So I was following along with this pattern, suggested pattern. Whoops, almost lost a stitch there. and then I started with a 6 and I decided to go to an 8 needle, which I did. And you know, this is what happens. You're thinking about something and then it shows up on your Facebook or your YouTube feed or whatever. I'm like, really? Okay, so in my case, what happened was an email came through. Now, I'm subscribed to get emails from Pearl Soho company in California. I think they started in New York. Now they're in California. And they have some great yarns, which I purchased. Now, this yarn, again, I said, is my girlfriend's that she gave me. And wouldn't you know, Pearl Hoso sent a pattern on how to knit this neat poncho. And I'll show it to you here. So that's what I'm knitting here. And basically what they suggest is and they give a chart with the measurements. Look at this. So they suggest 17 inches. And with the amount of stretch in this, I think it's going to work. I think it's going to be just the right width. Let's compare it to this. I get my knit neck side up. Oops. I'm grabbing the yarn here. 17 inches now. I think that's, sorry, it would be this way. I think that's more than 17 inches. Just drop my yarn, but I think, you know what, the easiest way is to get a tape measure and do it like that. But sometimes if we have something that fits and works for us, you just pull that out and use your measurements by that. You measure that garment and see if it's going to fit. So I think with stretch factor, this is going to be wide enough. See, this is, sorry, I should have turned that around for you. Here we go. There you are. So I think it's going to be wide enough. Time will tell. It's also very lightweight. So, and it's a very close knit, even though I'm using an 8, size 8. Yep. And these are my Primrose needles. I love them. Prim, not Primrose, Prim. P-R-Y-M. And it's number 8. Here, let's see if we can show you that. Is it going to focus there? Number 8. There's your number 8. Okay. And also because last year I learned how to do lace knitting, which initially I thought, I'm never going to get this. I had all kinds of holes and stuff everywhere, but now I can do lace knitting. So I'm adding a bit of lace knitting. This is actually going to be the edge that goes over the arm. So it's going this way. And then you'll sew it up and leave a space for your head. I was going to say for your hole. You leave a hole for your head. I have holes in my head. Everybody does. Okay, so that's it for the poncho. If you want that pattern, I do believe it's a free one. It's also available on Ravelry. So it's just called a poncho. Pearl Soho poncho. And okay, so now here's a little story for you. This is why I like them. I'm a product of the 60s, okay? I grew up during the hippie years. If you don't know what that is, if you're too young to know what that is, look it up. But it was a great time of revolution and change. It's a time when the Beatles came along, and very, very great, memorable times during those years for me. I would have been in my early teens. And the thing I like about the hippie movement was the focus on natural, like natural cottons, natural fabrics, natural wool, growing vegetables without using pesticides, all about nature. And that's the part that really resonated with me. Making soaps, which I do, and they're all a natural product, natural oils and goat milk soap and stuff like that. So So some people actually got involved in some revolutionary things in burning their bras, women. And I never liked wearing a bra. So, and I'm not wearing a bra today. I tend to wear camisoles and t-shirts and things like that. So having something to cover up, because sometimes your buttons show. That's what I call them. So, so there's, what am I trying to say? During the hippie years, it really influenced me. And don't wear your bra. I don't like wearing bras. I do have them, but especially at home on a weekend. So this is a great thing to just sort of wear over your t-shirt or whatever, so that nothing much shows, and yet it's a bit stylish. It's got that sort of angled look to it, which I like. And, you know, the other advantage, even if you have nothing to do with hippie years and you wear your bras and you tighten up your chest, they're still great for keeping you warm. They're a great bed jacket if you've got a senior who's in a home or somebody who's recuperating from operation, whatever, surgery. Nowadays, they just send you home. But even if you're recuperating at home, they add just a little bit of warmth. They're great. And I also like to just throw them on and wear them under my coat, because you can bunch it up around your neck. So very, very versatile. And it's an easy knit. It's easy for you to knit this. So if you knit one, let me know. I think the basics are, you know, you keep it about 17 to 20 inches and allow for that stretch that's going to occur with wear. That's what happened to this one here. It just gradually eased out. You can see the stitches are really stretched. Well, not that much stretch, but they're stretched. And this one is just a straight garter, which is just knitting every row back and forth, which could get boring. This one is a stockingette stitch, and the reason I added a bit of lace work to it, which is basically yarn over, knit two together, and so forth, and then your return row is just a knit or a purl. The reason I added that was just to keep it from being completely boring. But I have always like 5 or 6 things on the go in my knitting bag, and I'm working on yet another Roots hat. And those I can make up in an evening, and I'm making this top. So that's coming up. Not yet. So stay tuned and you'll figure out more. You'll learn more. And I can make a fool of myself more often. Cheers, everybody.